Hello, everybody. This is Rashad McCrorey. I'm actually bringing this to you live from Aburi Botanical Gardens. Today is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. I was asked to kind of detail my story regarding me being in Ghana during the COVID 19 pandemic. I actually just learned today that COVID 19 actually stands for coronavirus disease 2019, since it started in Wuhan, China, for winter 2019. So that's actually a new fact to me. Ghana has been real sweet to me. A lot of people like to make the assumption that during this world crisis, me being in Africa, me being in Ghana specifically, from New York City, is a bad situation, and it's the opposite. It's actually a blessing. It's been a wonderful experience. The ancestors have been with me thus far. I've been making wise decisions, which has been um, really encouraging as far as how I've grown as a man. um, my father passed away last year, August, and life has just been a little topsy-turvy. Real blessings have been with Ghana from the time I spent out here in the year to return. Afrochella, Afro Nation. I've been coming to Ghana since 2015. And I've been bringing Black Americans to Ghana since 2016. So Ghana has been a blessing. In this time of world crisis, let me fast forward to how I actually got to Ghana, to be here indefinitely while this pandemic is really affecting the entire world, including Ghana. I believe as of this morning, the number had reached over 200. Had reached over 200 cases in Ghana. Most coming from travelers. I'll speak about that a little bit more. Um, I've been here since February 27th. I arrived for 6 March festivities. I came with 5 Americans, and I hosted them from March 3rd to March 9th. I had a lot of different activities planned for myself. I was supposed to go to Kwawu Festival, Accra Fashion Week, numerous networking events, parties, um, meetings with key people of influence. I had a lot planned. And once Ghanaian President Nana Addo announced that any country with 200 or more COVID cases wouldn't be allowed to enter the country, my first real fear was, wow, if I leave Mother Africa, if I leave Ghana, the country I love, would I ever really be able to come back? That's Akia Avenue. We're doing something real special with it in the future. I'm sorry about that. So, um, I decided to try to stay as long as I could. Then I believe it was March 23rd when US President Donald Trump announced via the travel department for Americans to return home now or risk staying in their countries indefinitely. And I looked at my current situation. I said, hey, I've been coming to Ghana for 5 years, established so many wonderful relationships. I mean, like all over the country. Like I'm in Aburi Gardens right now, living. Don't come looking for me. um, like, you know, I could have done the same in areas at Labadi Beach. I could have went up to Cape Coast. I had people wanting to house me up by Elmina Castle. You know, Um, and I'm thankful that Ghana has been sweet to me. So when I actually decided to stay in Ghana, I weighed my options. Right now I'm from New York City. I'm not sure if I said that earlier. New York is the center of the coronavirus world right now. That in Italy, um, 20%, 1/3. I'm sorry, 33% of all cases of coronavirus in the U.S. right now, which has the most coronavirus cases, is from my city. I live in Manhattan. I am from Harlem. I live in Manhattan. So it was go home to that, go home to quarantine as soon as I get home for 2 weeks in America, or can I stay in Ghana? So I chose to stay in Ghana. For the first 2 weeks after I made the decision, I was actually staying in Accra. I was staying close to La Township. And as time went on, I didn't really feel comfortable in Accra anymore in terms of dealing with the coronavirus. So I made a tough decision, an executive decision, to hear out a friend who had offered me housing in Aburi. At the time, I didn't know that they actually meant like inside Aburi Gardens. Like, these are the decisions that I made that are just like so amazing. So I took them up on an offer, and it's just been a wonderful experience. I was able to leave Accra a full week before the lockdown. It's like my time and my movement seems to always be a step ahead. I arrived in Ghana about 5 days before the 2 week barrier that was put up, I believe on the 15th of March. That's when the president has said anybody who's been in the country less than 2 weeks. So I got here 4 or 5 days before that. I joke, I say, hey, if I ever catch corona, and it's the truth, if I catch corona, I caught it in Ghana. I didn't bring it into Ghana. So spare me with that. Um, I call my family regularly. They're panicking back home. People are just in panic mode back home. This American media is evil at times. So I don't call them as much as I would like to call them, only because they worry me. They worry me. So I try not to call as much, because once I start listening and talking, I get worried. I start thinking about like stuff that start thinking about things that I shouldn't be worried about out here. My family is fine as far as I know. Nobody that I know personally has caught coronavirus. There's been people who I've met. Mehuye, what they saying? Yo, Cobra. I mean, Mekwaba. Uh, yo. Oh, I'm videotaping. Okay. Yo. I don't know if that messed up the video, but I didn't want to ignore the guy. Um. So. So. So my family is fine. I don't know anybody personally. People I know, like a journalist that actually have written 2 stories about me, they told me they caught coronavirus. So even though I never met the journalist in person, I definitely take their word for it. I can't technically say I don't know anybody who caught coronavirus. Um, I was asked a couple of questions before I created this video. Mind you, this is how you see that good afternoon. This is how you see how coronavirus just has affected the world. This is a major tourist attraction that I probably only seen 5 people, and I'm sure they all locals. I'm sure they all the stuff is just so beautiful. All the stuff is just